The Federal High Court in Abuja has again adjourned indefinitely a suit filed by a chieftain of the African Democratic Congress (ADC), Nafi Gombe, following a request by the plaintiff seeking the transfer of the case to another judge. Justice Emeka Nwite adjourned the matter sine die after parties clashed over a letter written by the plaintiff to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court seeking the reassignment of the suit. The suit, which has generated intense legal fireworks within the ADC, was earlier stalled following an interlocutory appeal filed by the second defendant, David Mark, which eventually traveled to the Supreme Court. At today's proceedings, counsel for the plaintiff, Luka Haruna, informed the court that the Apex Court had on the 30th of April delivered judgment in the interlocutory appeal. The counsel said the Supreme Court dismissed the appeal for lacking in merit and also set aside the Court of Appeal's order staying proceedings in the substantive suit.
ADC cannot field candidates in 2026-2027 elections. Federal Court rules. Let's put our thoughts to it. Nigeria's current ongoing political atmosphere for 2027 general elections on the wrong trajectory for the country. According to social media and news networks in Nigeria, ADC party cannot field candidates for the 2027 general elections as the Federal Court just adjourned a case challenging David Mark-led ADC leadership and the INEC deadline looming. The May 10, 2026 for all parties to submit their candidates' names in the 2027 election is close. And today, being May 28, there is a great concern around that ADC party may not meet up as the court just adjourned. Many ADC party members are currently fleeing with speed into NDC party, where Mr. Peter Obi and Alhaji Kwankwaso ran into safeguard themselves to avoid the situation developing in ADC at the moment. Thoughts have it that there is a huge manipulation under the radar going on in stopping the opposition to the ruling APC party from challenging them in the winning of 2027 elections. It is clearer in picture that even with the curbing of majority PDP party members, making them to cross carpet into APC and swearing allegiance, shows that there is something going on. It is clearer now to everyone who lives in Nigeria and in diaspora of Nigeria that the judiciary, INEC, and court systems are caught up in this destabilization mess against the opposition parties, with the case of ADC party in hand. Recently, the media also caught up with the Attorney General of the Federation of the incumbent party, that is APC party, lying against Zenith Labour Party, ZLP, of not having won enough, or having candidates won in an election, and therefore stands being deleted. Then the party's media came and debunked it. That is, the ZLP party debunked the lie because ZLP has at least 15 LGAs in their war chest. They won in the past. History is presently repeating itself in Nigeria's currently ongoing political atmosphere. Taking a look into the elections and census of the late 1950s and 1962-1964 census and rigged elections which resulted in the coups and counter-coups and mass murder and riots both in the West and in the North against the Easterners, plus deadly civil war that came after it, and the after effect of such shows that Nigeria is going backwards in the democratic election process. And President Tinubu is old enough to recall history, old enough to know what happened, how the 1962 census was duped to favor the North, and the elections were rigged to favor the NPC as against Awolowo and his action group. There is no progress whatsoever in Nigeria politics. Even in the 1960s, when NCNC united with Northern People's Congress of the North, it created a lot of bad moves against the opposition action group in the West. President Tinubu should remember what happened. The bad decision made by NPC party to disorganize the action group and ignore its ally NCNC advice created the Western riots which killed so many people and destroyed loss of property, and put the opposition action group leaders, major leaders, in jail, like Awolowo, like Michael Jackson, and the rest of them, Jakande. This situation, and in Ahoro too, this situation generated to military coups, counter coups, killing of many Easterners, riots that destroyed properties of the Easterners, coups, and for the Igbos to safeguard themselves and the Easterners, they went into war when negotiations at Aburi, Ghana, and the rest of them did not work. The political alignment of the NCNC of the Eastern Nigeria and the coercing of political party members of the action group like Akintola into rebellion against their leaders, and the NPC of the Northern People's Congress put the country in bad shape. The current unity of the Western region and the Northern region has not even brought any good governance to Nigeria as part to the unity of the Eastern NCNC with the NPC. So what's going on in Nigeria? Can President Tinubu change the trajectory? So based on political scholars and media thoughts, APC ruling party under President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is playing the same game Alhaji Tafawa Balewa and Sardauna of Sokoto did, which did not favor Nigeria, even Northerners. So history, according to scholars, is about repeating itself, and the trajectory is not hopeful and not looking good. Can President Tinubu look at history and stop this backwardness that can not do anyone any good and can degenerate into huge problems he cannot handle? Stop backdoor disorganizing of your opponents like the NPC of Alhaji Tafawa Balewa did and that of Sardauna of Sokoto did to Awolowo and the Action Group. Reading history will put this right. We've seen governments come and go. We've seen internationally the Ottoman empires, the empires that grew in Nigeria and all failed. The British Empire that dwindled into nothingness and now worships one of their colonies called United States today. So, President Tinubu, you know history. You have it in hand. You saw it. Some of those people you are following, like Awolowo, Jakonde, and the rest of them, all of them saw what happened. And up till date, you are not able to wield your power and wield your courage and help Nigeria from going into trouble. Change the trajectory and figure it out. Read history. Thank you for watching. That's all we have for you today. Till the next video, please subscribe, share, and give us a press on the thumb up. Thank you.